Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's April 1st, 9:01 a.m. This is live with Frankie. It should be a an interesting day. We have a Taco Tuesday. We have April Fools. But once again, you know the routine. Before we get started, make sure you follow our pages. We could be found on Frankie Olivo. Click the like follow button. Also, we could be found on YouTube. Frankie Olivo. Subscribe to the page. We're trying to grow um, as much as possible. We've seen a great increase in viewership and also in subscribers/followers. And also, if you'd like to support the cause, so we can be motivated every time we see um, when we open up our phones, you can support us by sending stars. Stars help us earn money to make content. So I'm not a beggar, but send stars. Um, April 1st, April Fools. Everything today, at least growing up, was never really taken seriously. Everything that happened on April Fools, you were always skeptical about it, right? You would think and ask, okay, is this a prank? Uh, it's one of those things where if you pull something off, it's like wow, you were able to pull something off during April Fools. I can't really think um, of anything interesting in regards to April the Fools. We will be talking about the biggest problem facing the city of Brownsville, and what we're going to talk about is not April Fools. We're going to talk about an organization, an agency that was very well compensated for something that you would think, but we'll get into that uh, very soon in our next segment. But can y'all think of a good April Fool's, April prank? Um, I Nothing comes to mind. Again, today's a day that we don't take seriously. Anything that they tell us, either bad news, we're always skeptical about it. We're always quick to confirm. Um, I don't. And growing up in school, it was a big deal. But I can't think of any prank. Of course, there is those serious pranks of that people crashed and that people passed away, and you'd be like, "Hey, that's a little too hardcore," at least for my taste. But if you can think of any April Fools, any anything that you remember growing up, make sure you comment. I would like to know. Um, the biggest problem that is facing Brownsville is GBIC and BCIC, Greater Brownsville Incentive Corporation, and BCIC. What we've seen from these organizations is as they have no oversight. It's unfortunate that we've come across these past few years how individuals have used these types of organizations to benefit. And GBIC and BCIC, these two are both entities that they get somewhere around 5 to 6 million annually. Um, they do get tax revenue, sales tax revenue, and it is split up amongst these two entities. Their platform, their goals that they tout is economic development. They want to enhance quality of life, um, innovate, to help empower entrepreneurs, to cultivate, to start a partnership with other either at the government or in particular with SpaceX entities that support Brownsville's either goals, ideas for the community. we have seen how these entities, these organizations have given monies to politicians, to former mayors, to former city employees. For the record, my family did receive a grant from one of these organizations. I believe it was $5,000, anywhere from 3,500 to $5,000. My family has been in the historical downtown Brownsville area for 30 going on 40 years now. Um, my issue with the giving monies to their to individuals, that's not my issue. The issue that all agree is people are creating LLCs, organizations, companies, and within less than 3 6 months of being in operation, they're getting grants, loans of up to 200, $300,000 to either renovate or to improve the buildings, their structures, their properties, their businesses. That is not the issue that I have. The issue is not with the individuals, the recipients of these grants, of these loans, because when we think of downtown Brownsville, obviously we see how it is being renovated, revitalized. Heck, even Elon Musk gave $10 million to downtown Brownsville's revitalization. We can all agree that I don't see $10 million, and I understand historical buildings. Uh, they are probably a little bit expensive. Oh, they're expensive to remodel because you have to abide by certain guidelines by the state or historical association. But nonetheless, um, the city of Brownsville does not do a good job of promoting these types of grants. So the issue, again, my family has received money from these organizations, but you're talking about a business that has been in operation for close to 40 years. And we know of other entrepreneurs, business owners that would benefit handsomely from um, from these grants and loans. I think of downtown. I think of the jewelry stores. Yesterday we were talking about how, or earlier we were talking about how ropa usadas in the 80s and 90s was a big commodity. We would see a lot of interstate commerce. People from Matamoros would come and spend, money on changarro, they'd go to Sanchu, they'd go to El Torito. Remember El Torito was here, or El Toro? Was it El Toro or El Torito? The sporting goods. Uh, Senor Martinez used to work at, was it Corte Inglés? Corte Inglés was a shoe store, no? Downtown. Melrose was downtown. I'm not sure if it still is. But we would have that international commerce. People would cross. We've seen that go away, and we've seen how these new buildings, these old buildings, are now being taken up by entrepreneurs, business owners, lawyers, uh, and they use these grants. So our issue that we're addressing today is not really against the idea of help, of investing back into these individuals, these businesses that have been here in our city, here in downtown for many, many years. On the contrary, we support these initiatives and we encourage our board and even our commissioners to be more actively vocal in making sure that uh, everybody has access to the pie. Um, so our issue that we want to talk about today is mismanaging of funds, being a little bit more fiscally conservative. That's a word. That's a word that gets thrown out by politicians a lot. And I was also thinking, am I a hypocrite? My goal is to own property downtown. One of the pitches that an agent, a realtor, was giving on this property located in downtown Brownsville was that you're able possibly to get monies and matching funds if you restore this historic building. And I thought, hey, if I bought it, would I be a hypocrite for signing up to these grants? I don't anticipate getting anything, but would I be a hypocrite? The realtor's pitch on a property that's located in downtown Brownsville is saying that this rare opportunity to own a historic gem just one block from the county courthouse. This property holds value far beyond the land itself and is ideal for redevelopment into a bistro with a bar of attorneys and judges, a boutique law office or professional space in the heart of downtown. Preserve historic charm. It cannot be torn down, maintaining its character and uniqueness. Unmatched locations. That's where for the courthouse. Uh, Qualifies for the big grant program through BCIC, offering up to $200,000 in matching funds for restoration, plus rent subsidies. Downtown Brownsville is transforming, and this is your chance to be a part of it. With funding assistance available, this property can be revitalized into a high-end bistro bar or while benefiting from other significant incentives. Don't miss this opportunity. Contact me today. It's actually a good pitch when you really think about it. You're like, hey, well, what if I buy this property at a reasonable price, and then I look into BCIC to see if I qualify or if my property is deemed worthy of qualifying for this benefit. Um, would I be a hypocrite if let's say we I purchased a property downtown and I apply for these grants? Would I be a hypocrite for benefiting from this? Is this open to everybody? I don't want to rehash of what we have previously, what my predecessor previously covered, just to give you the gist. We had a former mayor and a city employee who were business partners. They created an LLC, and shortly within 2, 3 months of this business being in operation, they already submitted, while they retracted their application, they submitted an application for hundreds of thousands of dollars for their properties. We have seen how other well influential families within the city have done the same. And we have been very vocal about this. We also talked about how investors, people with money, they don't use their money; they use our money. Um, so my question to myself was, if I bought this property, it's a reasonable price, and I applied, would that make me a hypocrite? Again, the realtor did a great job of pitching that because you're like, hey, if I buy this, I can I could develop for free. That's something that I ask myself. Would my idea of these individuals helping change? Because again, we are not against the idea of helping the community. My family, once again, has been in downtown Brownsville for 30, 40 years. We should reward individuals who have made that investment. Uh, and just like my family, there's, I would say, hundreds more downtown Brownsville that have never even been considered for any grants, any. rental assistance, utility assistant, um, and and anything, everything. I'm trying to think about what I said that you're saying everything. Bingo, Patty. If you could bring it to my attention. Well, mismanagement. Mismanagement is something that has had a black eye pretty much on BCIC. I was going through their board agenda this past Thursday. On the agenda was an interesting item. Again, this is from BCIC board. Took place Thursday, March 27th, 2025 at 4 p.m. I want to go down here to consent agenda item 3.4. Consideration and action to approve $30,000 contract with Harry Walker Agency LLC for keynote speaker at the 2025 RGV startup as budgeted. $30,000 for a speaker. Now we have to remember the goals that these entities have. They want to promote entrepreneurship. They want to promote startup companies, and that is, I guess, the goal of the city. This week long event of RGV Startup Week will be starting on April 25th to May the 2nd, and it has been used as a way to celebrate, encourage entrepreneurship. It is going to be here downtown Brownsville. Classes are going to range from boot camps, startup boot camps, how to make a pitch, and then they're going to have these speakers for $30,000. And we can understand um, the idea that they're trying to cultivate. You know, they want to bring people with different perspectives, probably from all walks of life, that have been successful at what they do. This company, this company that BCIC is giving $30,000 to, is a talent agency out of New York. Um, they provide celebrities, politicians, people from all walks of life, uh, people in the sports industry. They provide speakers to different events. Now we could argue and try and justify the $30,000 that is being allocated for this, and say, well, the company always gets 10%, probably another 5, 7 for travel. Not sure if it's going to be through Zoom or not. Um, and then also maybe to that person that's going to go and speak. But it kind of got me thinking, damn, $30,000. And my friend would say, man, we always have that friend, that mechanic, right? Say, man, I took the car to AutoZone, man. They want to charge me like couple grand. I'm gonna go, give me a 6-pack of Dr. Peppers and some smokes. I'll fix it for you. Uh, $30,000. And again, the monies, the $5 to $6 million that the entity GBIC BCIC receive is the sales tax. So ultimately, we are puffering up their coffers. They are just renovating downtown on taxpayer monies instead of their own. That's what's going on. Somebody should audit the city of Brownsville to see where most of our taxpayer money is going to. And that is what I'm going at, Max. That these entities, GBIC, BCIC, they wield a lot of power because there is no oversight. There is oversight per se. The city of Brownsville does have auditors. These individuals do have a report that they have to submit. Um, but essentially, these people carry a lot of power. They determine who's going to get monies. Again, we're talking about individuals that are successful, that are very well known, that have unlimited amount of resources, that they themselves could pony up the monies for these endeavors. What my predecessor was very vocal about was that these organizations, these entities, they create the applications in a form to where you have to you qualify, you meet all the requirements, so to speak, but they figure it in a way that's beneficial. That says, well, you are deemed you are deemed worthy. Is that the background from Friends? Yes. Who is that keynote speaker? I'm not sure. It doesn't say because again, all the agenda, bring it up. All the agenda reads is to pay. It didn't really say to who, um, or they say to who, to the talent agency. But what I think it is, Sam, I think they just maybe it'll be through Zoom. I don't even think they'll come because you actually think that Tom Brady will come down. Do you think of Bill Clinton? Who else did they have on here? Bill Maher, Serena Williams. Um, but again, the agenda item just reads $3,000 to Harry Walker Agency for a keynote speaker. Do we think that a big speaker is going to come? What if they get Mark Cuban? I think that'd be pretty big. Someone from what's that show? From Shark Tank? But $30,000, is this mismanagement on the part of GBIC? Again, we have seen how these individuals have been handing out monies left and right to board members, to commissioners' families. I think there was a push sometime last year. I forgot whether it passed or not. That it was kind of either setting in motion where commissioners and their families couldn't receive the monies, or if allowed the families of the commissioners to receive the money. Something like that. Why? Because they're always trying to walk that fine line. There's always loopholes in this. But one thing, you're absolutely right, Max. We've talked about this. Someone should audit the city. Again, Elon Musk gave $10 million to revitalize downtown Brownsville. Do we see $10 million? Can we walk downtown streets and say, look, that's $10 million? But what happened was that these $10 million was given to grants to individuals because they did talk about how they put new lighting. Then the light poles came out defective or there were some issues and what have you. But Max brings up a great point. Where does our money go? Where do we focus on this? Do we have somebody where we could honestly say that this money is being spent the right way? Who's the guest speaker? We're not sure. We just know that they were on the agenda. I was thinking Seinfeld, waiting for Kramer to stumble at any time. Denise, yeah, he will. He will. If you stay long enough, let me know. Kramer will come out. Good morning. Thanks for Senator Cornyn for standing up against tyranny. One thing that Max brought up was that, and Andrew here is kind of alluding to it, Doge. Have y'all been hearing Doge in the news lately? And not the meme coin, but Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency. And this is the one that Elon's in charge of. Or no, well, President Obama actually created the Department of Government Efficiency. It was President Obama. Elon Musk is kind of has his hands by the horn, like, has a horn by the hands, so to speak, because he has been a part of a group that has been investigating previous fraud, questionable instances that have been questionable, which has caused the federal government to be in debt in the trillions. They have uncovered how our Social Security department has massive fraud. That they found that individuals that were aged 120 plus have been receiving these funds for hundreds of years. How they found that 40% of the people that were calling into Social Security were trying to make changes to direct deposit bank information. A lot of a lot of things have been coming up as of late. So Max is absolutely right. Are we going to have somebody that's going to audit the city? Do we know where those $10 million went? That is something that would be good for the. They could have asked Barry Patel to speak on entrepreneurship and how business is different in the valley compared to the other areas. Paying $30,000 is just throwing money away if the person is not worth it. You make a great point. Barry Patel is a successful entrepreneur that we have seen has really been successful. He is located here in South Padre, and he also has businesses, hotels in Hidalgo County, I believe in Bar San Juan, Hidalgo County. But you're absolutely right. Does the city of Brownsville, maybe the Rio Grande, have um, leaders, entrepreneurs that can really teach individuals about grassroots, about starting small and making it big? I believe so. It's always good to promote within, so to speak. I always found that interesting. We always for outside for the most part. Maybe, but again, I understand. I guess the idea. We want individuals that think differently. Why do we want somebody in our area? Maybe we need somebody from the outside world, from New York, from California, from Washington D.C., just to give us new ideas. But I agree. 30,000 to me seems a little bit too much. Morning, ready to come on the show. Good morning, Mr. Moody. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, we'd love to have you. I was previously speaking about how I was thinking about a week before early voting. I would like to have a day for the candidates to come on um, all at one time, talk about their platform, talk about their goals, their vision for the city of Brownsville, and what they bring to the table. You are invited to do so, and if any candidate would like to promote their platform, um, let us know. We'll post it on our page. So, Mr. Moody, good morning. Um, that's the idea that I have, and I want to bring um, the commissioners for at large on one show, the commissioner for District 3 on another show, just to have a friendly conversation about why why that person is should be our next city commissioner. Thanks so much for tuning in. I hope to hear from you very soon. Thank you so much. Good morning, Frankie. I was wondering what is that about the termination of Dr. Chavez from BISD? I'm not sure about it. They have been, uh, Mr. Chavez did have a medical procedure done not too long ago. And I believe that that is what is happening, if I'm not mistaken. I think individuals have realized that the superintendent doesn't have much time. This next appointment or or individual that will be elected for Erasmo Castro seat um, will determine whether or who ultimately becomes or could possibly determine who ultimately becomes the next superintendent. We have seen how there's two factions, three. One is in favor of keeping him. The other is looking to find his replacement. I believe that Dr. Chavez will be on as long as he's able to perform his duties as superintendent. I'm not sure if that's the case, but he does, or at one point, had health issues. I like that idea. Still undecided with at large. Oh wow! Hope he gets better. Thank you for the information. Uh, $30,000. $30,000 to uh, to a keynote speaker. Now, this event is something that is important. It is important for our local business owners and those individuals that are wanting to become entrepreneurs. This is a great way for them to uh, learn how to make a pitch. There is going to be one of the days that they have assigned to it is pitch competition. We anticipate this is where they will be, teaching them, hey, this is how you close, this is how you sell, this is how you make a sale. Um, we're talking about how every salesperson is a sleazy salesperson because every salesperson, they always, in some sort of way, they always want to make the pitch. Um, our thing is more educate, educate, educate. And then once you have the information in front of you, you'll be able to say, well, this convinced me. So it's not really a sale, but educating, I would say. Um, but that's very important. Uh, Being a successful business owner is one, you have to uh, commit to your craft. People have to trust you. You have to be confident, knowledgeable of what you do, but ultimately you have to be able to close a sale. Um, so maybe this would be beneficial towards our entrepreneurs. I did sign up for this event. I will be going to a few days. Maybe the pitch. I want to see what they have to offer. Oh, man, now I'll probably go the whole week. So should be interesting. Should be interesting. But again, we have this organization that has had a black eye that has been known to give monies freely. Are we okay with that? What would happen if someone like myself would apply for these grants and I received something? That is ultimately what is happening with our area. Downtown Brownsville isn't what it is. Um, the idea that downtown Brownsville is going to be a hub, not at the direction in which the city is going right now. You see how Madeira they've invested what 90 million into that project. Brownsville's growing to the north. Sooner or later, we'll be closer to Brownsville, Los Fresnos, and San Benito. Sooner or later, but the startup week is set to start April 25th. I will be attending. I'm more interested in knowing Is this $30,000 really worth it? Are we having a speaker in person? That is something that I want to see for myself. The biggest problem that Brownsville is facing is GBIC and BCIC. These entities have a lot of power, and they determine which family or which one of their friends will be receiving grants, loans for their projects, whether that be a restaurant, a coffee shop, or any sort of business in downtown Brownsville. $30,000 for a keynote speaker. Like, man, we're in the wrong business, aren't we? So is that mismanagement of funds? Will they just appear via Zoom? Is it going to be a worthy name? We get what we pay for, right? So maybe if we pay a large amounts of money for a good quality, it will genuinely be worth it, right? Because they always say that, the more you spend, the better it is for a $30,000 for a keynote speaker for RGV startup. Yes, we are discussing that, whether that is deemed acceptable. Are we getting the most for our $30,000? Are these individuals going to really benefit from that keynote speaker? You don't need to spend that much, though. That's correct, and that's something that Sam previously touched on, Mr. Moody. That we have the likes of Barry Patel, who is a successful entrepreneur here in a local area, and he could probably tell us how he started and ultimately to what he got. It's too much. At BISD, we had a cap, and that's the oversight, that the auditing that Max was talking about. These entities, they do have a lot of power because there is no oversight. There is no accountability. For great keynotes, we spend $5,000 to $10,000. Wow. And again, if we think about those individuals that McAllen brings in, like Dallas Cowboys, those probably cost $30,000, $50,000. Maybe we're getting somebody of that caliber. I'm trying to play devil's advocate, right? We have to think about the $30,000. Okay, is it going for somebody high end, top shelf, somebody who spearheaded their line of work, their profession? Musk has no credibility. I suggest you listen to Ben Madas from the #1 podcast globally. You mean Live with Frankie? #1 globally? Check out the Madas Touch to inform yourself and not listen to state news. I don't listen to news. I don't watch the news anymore. And you may laugh at me, but now we are the news. We bring the news. X, Twitter, X formerly known as Twitter. To me, that's the news. Facebook has turned into like memes, cheeseman. I don't know. It really went from, Facebook has really been transforming into something that's more like a pastime. To me, where I get my news is Twitter, is X. But that's just me. But I'll look for Ben Midas just to see what's his take on the world. But me personally, Tucker, I don't watch the news no more. I think it's all propaganda. They touch on the issues that benefit them, that benefit their friends. Frankie, we should start a business and become keynote speakers if they're paid this much. Yeah, I know that, we're in the wrong profession. Again, we always have a mechanic, that, hey man, give me a 6-pack of Dr. Peppers and some smokes and I'll fix it for you. Don't spend a couple thousand out there. For great keynote speakers, $5,000 to $10,000 average. We don't have a great marketing communications plan for the overall city, which I would like to implement. And that's very important. Are we marketing the city of Brownsville to the world? We have been put on the map. We have been put on the map because of SpaceX, but I like the direction in which you're going to. Have we been promoting Brownsville? Do we have communications with the outside world? Now that SpaceX is going to have the liberty to launch, I think they said 25 times this year. He's going to launch like 3 times a month, 4 times if you let him. Because again, now Elon Musk is in President Trump's inner circle. So now, Mr. Moody, now we need to be going to the UK. We need to spend money in the UK, spend money all over the globe, because what we have seen has been that tourism, the city of Brownsville, according to Mayor Cowan in the state of the city, he stated that tourism accounted for close to $100 million because of SpaceX, because they're coming from all over the world. While I am supportive of environmental issues, SpaceX is booming. Brownsville has been reaping the rewards from it. Our hotels, South Padre has greatly benefited from this. Yes, international tourism, and that's where I think the money's at. But Mr. Moody, the former public information officer for BISD, has years of experience, and that would be, you would be Brownsville's biggest cheerleader because you have the experience. You'd be able to implement great ideas towards the marketing and communications plan for the city of Brownsville. Because again, it's our job as citizens, as someone that's taking the initiative and putting his hat in the ring and saying, hey, look, this is what I can do for the city of Brownsville. We're already here, but let me take it a step further. Frankie, we should start a business. We should. We don't have any communications from our capital investment projects, quality of life, etc. There's no hub of communication for all these projects. And that is what Doge is doing, right? Doge has been, okay, we want an accountability of our money. City at large candidate, Mr. Moody, is stating, hey, there is no communications. What's the progress of our capital improvement projects? What changes have been made to the quality of life? There is no communication. Because again, do we know what happened to Elon Musk's $10 million? They said they bought some light posts, but for how much? Frankie and I will be keynote speakers. I'll do it for a plate of food and a 6-pack of Dr. Pepper. Well, to MAGA's Trump and Elon are the most trusted newscast. However, I think they're full of crap. Trust but verify. Again, we should be very skeptical about what we intake because, again, our body, our minds are temples, right? So if we put bad stuff in it, if we put pure propaganda, we're just going to be spitting out propaganda. We should be very careful. Bought a light post. Yeah, they did. They really did buy light posts. $8 million was taken back from Elon Musk. He saw how the $2 million were spent, and he was like, hey, give me back my money, girl. It's like that baby mama, and she's like, oh, come on, Craig, give me some money. I got your baby. He's like, all right, here. And then she's all spending all. Now give me back my money. $8 million was taken back out of the 10. Because again, I'm serious. My friend just texted me, LOL, light post. But no, they really did buy light posts, and they said that it was going to improve the downtown lighting, and the lights either broke or they come out defective. Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but that's where they spent the money, or they alluded to it, that they had spent the money on light posts. So many people were like, what? City of Brownsville people have been seen in expos all over the state, and we need that. Mayor Cowan is making that contact with Monterrey. He was previously at one of their conferences. He met with mayors from Guadalupe, Monterrey, and then he also met with Governor Samuel Garcia of Nuevo León, which is important. We need to foster those relationships, right? But again, we have SpaceX in our back door. We need to do that. International terrorism is big. I'm serious, ladies and gentlemen. People come from like New Zealand, Australia. They made a story about SpaceX, forwarded to me. They recently, the New York Times, the Rio Grande Valley was made international news, unfortunately, because of being underwater. Let me know what story you're talking about. I believe I saw one on SpaceX. There was two that I saw. I think one was about the environment and the effects, and the other one was that business was booming in downtown Brownsville. Get your megaphone out. I like that, Frankie. Brownsville needs to grow the right way. Again, the right way. We should, as Max stated, we should ask. Where is our money being invested? Have we seen an improvement in that project? Has the project even been completed? Not only do we work on something, but we also see the effects that it has had. What is the quality of life that it's providing? Brownsville needs to grow the right way. That is correct. $8 million was taken back. No, give me back my money. $8 million, imagine. Imagine thinking like, man, I got 10 mil. Then boom. Again, I think they saw how $2 million was being spent. That is the reason why Elon Musk is creating Starbase, ladies and gentlemen. God, I just got that off my chest. Is it easier for Elon Musk to pay off these hungry politicos, these never satisfied politicos who have been getting high on the hog for years and years and years? Elon Musk said, no, hombre, estos me salieron caros. It's like me. Grimes needed it. I need it. Have you seen, Danny, that his current baby mama, his new baby mama, is like selling her Tesla, and Elon Musk gave her like $2.5 million, and he doesn't even know if the baby's his. I'm like, no, hombre, bueno fuera. All these Brownsville girls are gonna be wanting Elon Musk. Is that I think you're talking about his former baby mama. I'm talking about his current baby mama. There is no accountability. I assist as a liaison in managing and implementing the Musk donation at BISD, and that's something that we need. And another topic would be what happened to the, what was it, $20-30 million that BISD got? That's something that we need to talk about for another future, at a later date. But what happened to those $20-30 million that Elon Musk donated to Brownsville, to BISD? Because if Elon Musk took back 8 million from those 10, did he take back? Nah, I don't think he would. But let me know. I'm very interested in that. The New York Times came down into the story. It was the donation to the schools in Cameron County. Was it 30 as a whole or 30 just to BISD? Forget about that. Where are the receipts of the lighting renovations? Where is the proof of the 8 million that was taken back? To quote Erasmo, where's the transparency? And you're absolutely right. We wouldn't have known, or I personally wouldn't have known. Maybe y'all eagle eyes out there would. But did you know that the city of Brownsville received 10 million and gave back 8 million? According to Danny Salinas from Brownsville Tech Live. If you don't follow Brownsville Tech Live, make sure you do. It could be found on what, Danny? All major platforms, social media platforms. But that is interesting. There is no accountability. There is no, hey, this is an update. Because again, you're talking about thousands of dollars. Why don't we have this from the city? Why don't we have this from our board members at the school district? Hey, this is being fiscally responsible. This is what's being done with your money. A quarterly report posted online. Transparency seems to be a big word that gets thrown out, right? Transparency. And unfortunately, whenever we think of politicians, we think of them being on the take. That's no disrespect to anyone running, but hey, Hidalgo has had its fair share of corruption. Brownsville has had its fair share of corruption. It was an estimated 6.5 that BISD got. I see. So then 30 was as a whole to Cameron County schools. Not bad. Close to what, like 20% of that money of the 30 mil went to, give or take, 20 some percent. That's not bad. That's a big slice of the pie. But then our next question is, well, what happened with that $6.5 million? Um, the city runs on an annual budget of $130 million. Yes, 20 million to Cameron County Schools. I see 20 million. The city of Brownsville runs on a budget of 130 million. BISD, I think, is around $500 million entity. You're talking about multi-billion dollar, multi-million dollar entities that received money, grants. We have entities such as BCIC giving out $30,000 for keynote speakers. Is that mismanagement on their part? Should we have an accountability of, hey, who's going to speak? Maybe it's in what we just talked about. Maybe it's Bill Clinton coming down. Bill Clinton has come down to Brownsville. Maybe he'll come down. I hope it's a big name. I hope it's a big name. That way they could throw it back in my face and say, haha, $30 million, well worth it. Again, McAllen, whenever they bring Emmett Smith, Novacek, I think they brought Des Bryant. Those guys easily, they won't come down for nothing less than 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. So for that, it's okay. So it'll be interesting to learn who the keynote speaker is. Will it be here in person or via Zoom? And it's $30,000 adequately spent. BISD budget is about 500 million, $500 million entity. Thank you, chat, for tuning in. Happy Tuesday. It is April Fool's. Please do not fall for it. Make sure Enrique Iglesias charged what, $1 million? Danny, $500,000, $1 million for the Christmas parade. And I think after that, the city of McAllen, I think it was because of that the city of McAllen said, we'll never do that again. Something like that. Remember that? That was very interesting. I forgot about that. Let the rhythm take you over. No, but Enrique Iglesias is a superstar. You know, his him and his father, those guys are superstars. But McAllen did spend $1 million, $500,000 or $1 million. After that, they did balance the budget because of that. And ever since then, I think now they invite Dallas Cowboy stars for their festivities. Happy Tuesday. Have a good day, Frankie, and all watching. Wasn't that paid through sponsors? I don't believe so. I think the city of McAllen was in the red because of that. And it was like a big issue because it later came out. And again, you know, there was a freedom of information request. They sent it out to the Attorney General, and then it became a bigger deal than many first anticipated. Bailando, let the rhythm take you over. And did he do a movie? Or, no, I'm thinking about, did he do a movie? He probably did a movie, right? But he's a superstar. To me, Enrique Iglesias is a superstar. So he'd be worthy of 30 grand for an hour. Shakiral, don't mind. I'm not sure. Happy Tuesday, April Fools. Do not fall for it. If they try and pass a joke on you, make sure you confirm it's true. Because there are many pranks. I'm trying to think of a prank. Or maybe I had a very serious childhood that I can't think of an April Fool's prank that either I did on somebody or somebody did it on me. Nonetheless, thank you so much for your time and your attention. I can't even talk. It's Tuesday, April the 1st, 9:55 a.m. This is Live with Frankie. Remember, every day, Monday through Friday, we will be on at 9 a.m. We will keep doing this as long as this is fun. That's what my former predecessor always said. Make sure you do something and you're having fun with it. I'm enjoying this journey that I'm embarking on. I'm very thankful and appreciative of the individuals that have reached out, encouraged me, but more than anything, that have liked, commented, shared, followed, sent stars. I'm very appreciative of each and every one of you. Thank you so much. This isn't an easy task, but I'm motivated and encouraged that there are people out there that do want a better Brownsville, and the little that we can do to bring these ideas, our goals, to the forefront is very, very important. So thank you so much for tuning in. See y'all tomorrow, Wednesday at 9 a.m. Peace.